So, plenty of this morning's papers, of course, carrying pictures of the new royal princess, named by the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge yesterday as Charlotte Elizabeth Diana. The fourth in line to the throne will be known as Her Royal Highness Princess Charlotte of Cambridge. Let's talk to Grant Harold, former Royal Butler. Morning to you, Grant.
Good morning, Mike.
So, where were you then when the news broke?
I was far from London. I thought I'd keep away. It looked a bit too crazy down there. I was actually in the Cotswolds.
And she wasn't in labour for very long. It was 2.5 hours, wasn't it?
It was. It wasn't long. It wasn't long at all. I mean, I was quite. Well, I think everyone was quite kind of surprised, but obviously glad for her as well.
And then she looked absolutely fabulous when she appeared on the steps at tea time the same day, which is quite astonishing, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, when they said that she was going to be coming out that evening, I mean, I think everyone was kind of thinking, oh, will it happen, won't it happen? And of course, as you said, there she was, looking fantastic, I thought, and straight off back to Kensington Palace with the new family.
Yeah. Rumour has it she spent 300 quid on a hairdresser.
Really? Okay. That's about how much I spend.
It's probably got something to do with how good she looked. So take us through the names that have been chosen then, Grant. Well, Charlotte, first of all.
It's quite interesting because Charlotte was a name that I had a kind of feeling about. People think it was inside information. I mean, I did hear one or two things, but I mean, it was a feeling that I had because Charlotte, obviously, we've had Royal Charlottes in the past. The most notable one of all, I think, was George III's wife, who a lot of people have been comparing it to. And again, the princess that I work with, that was one of her great-great-grandmothers, so she was quite keen on the idea of I think, Charlotte. Elizabeth, obviously, well, I've got a view. I mean, everyone's saying it's after the Queen, which I'm sure it is after a Queen, but it could also be after the Queen Mother, because as I'm sure you know, the royal family, well, the princes were very fond of the Queen Mother, so possibly it'd be nice to think it could also be in connection with the Queen Mother. And finally, obviously, Diana is in the late Princess Diana of Wales, which I'm quite sure was a decision that was probably talked about, and they felt it was appropriate for her granddaughter to bear her name in her names.
Yeah, now when there was discussion about this last week, there was some Grant who felt that the rest of the family might feel a bit uncomfortable about using Diana.
I really don't think so. I mean, my personal feeling, I think they'd all be for it. I mean, at the end of the day, it is this girl's grandmother, and like any family, I mean, some of us, I mean, even some of my middle names are after grandparents' names. So I don't think there would have been a problem with it. I mean, I'm sure it was all checked and talked about, but my feeling is it would have been a straightforward case of them saying this is the name we would like, and I'm sure the family all supported them in what they decided. So
have there been other Princess Charlottes?
Yes, absolutely. As I say, there was George III, most famous, his wife was Charlotte, Princess Charlotte, and there's been one or two. I think it's quite a nice name as well, because we haven't had a Princess Charlotte recently, so it's something a bit different. But it's got, again, they're thinking that possibly one day, if for some unknown reason Prince George didn't become king, then it would go to his sister, and of course she could then be Queen Charlotte. She could also be Queen Elizabeth, or she could be Queen Diana. She could choose any of her middle names as well.
And it's likely, isn't it, that, I mean, that they're very keen on keeping the kids out of the limelight, aren't they? So we probably won't see that much of it.
No, I mean, they're a very private family, and that's something even I could see when I was there. Is the royal family? They've got the two sides. They've got the public side and they've got the private side. And the public obviously is their job, their duty. The private is when they have time away from everybody. And I thought it was quite nice that they brought Prince William went and got Prince George and brought him back to the hospital, because again, everyone was thinking maybe he's just going to go and check on him. We did have a feeling that might happen. The circle that I was in thought that might happen, and it was quite nice to see that he was brought back. And I think we were all a bit worried he'd be a bit kind of shocked at the media, but I think he coped with it very well. I think he's going to do very well.
Because you were butler to Will and Kate, weren't you?
I did, but that was part of my duties. Yes, I did butlering.
So come on, what are they like really?
They I mean, this is what everybody says to me. There must be another side, and I can honestly say they were a fantastic couple that I enjoyed being around and doing things for.
So are these children and laid back then as they appear to be?
From what I understand, yes. I mean, they are. They have a very normal upbringing, which is what you'd want for any child. You know, I think, again, as with, in fairness, with Princess William and Harry, I think it's safe to say they had a normal upbringing and tried, I think the family tried to keep them out of the limelight until the last possible moment. I think it's only in the last couple of years, really, that Prince William has been seen doing more and more. So I think it'll be the same for Prince George and Princess Charlotte. I think for many years, they'll have a normal childhood, and then sadly, a time will come when they get to a certain point where it will then change.
It's interesting. You keep using the word normal. I think a lot of people might struggle with that a little bit.
I'm sure, and I think, hand on heart, when you work for them, and I'm not just making this up, you see them as absolutely, they're a royal family, but they are a normal family. I mean, they have the same things going on in their lives that everybody else has going on, as well as the unusual things, because of being royal. So for me, they were as normal as you can be, a normal family.
Grant, always a pleasure. Good to talk to you. Thank you very much for that.
Back on, Mike.
Grant Harold, former Royal Butler, 6 minutes to 11.